what if you thought beyond a new year, a new goal, and actually use data and a little time for a few questions to give you clarity on how to take your business to the next level? If you're thinking, ooh, it's Q1, 2, 3, or 4, and you're going, I actually really want to think about the next 12 months. I really want to make sure I don't take the past with me into the future, then you are in the right place. Hi, I'm Candus, and today I want to share with you a reflection exercise that I taught my QuickBooks Simplify community and my Commerce QuickBooks students, and they were like, this is amazing, and I didn't want to hold it back. I wanted to bring it to you. So are you ready? Let's dive in. I've got slides, which is always so fun and exciting. So this is all about taking time to reflect and find purpose with planning, all right? So you don't have to wait till January to set goals. You don't have to just in January take time to reflect, or in December. You can do this anytime, even jumping in Q3 and Q4 to really look at where is your business so that you can start making pivots now so that you get through the rest of the year strong and kick off next year the right way. Let's go. So looking back over 12 months, the reason we want to do this is before planning ahead, it's essential to reflect on where you've been. And I think this is what a lot of us business owners, including myself, used to never do. We would just say, where are we going next? Where are we going next? Versus saying, but where have I been and what have I done? There's so much power in that I think we forget, right? Taking that knowledge and wisdom with us into the next phase of our businesses. So this step helps you acknowledge your progress, identify valuable lessons, and prepare you for a stronger future. I have a PDF. I know you guys love PDFs, so you can scan it or the little QR code, or you can go to canduskampfer.com/reflect. Everything I'm teaching you today is in this PDF and more. Some really cool extra bonuses in there. Some things I'll share with you more about them later, but make sure you download that. You're definitely going to want to do it. But if nothing else, grab a pen and paper and let's get started, because we're going to take time to reflect, maybe even realign with where you're at and where you want to go, and refocus. Ready to begin? Let's go. So one of the things I want you to think about is what worked. Start by celebrating what went well over the last 12 months. Think about all of the areas that you had success, moments of growth, positive shifts in your business and life. So even though often I talk about business and life are so commingled as entrepreneurs, you want to do this for both, okay? So ask yourself, what worked this year? Did you grow your business? Did you bring on new clients? Did you offer different products or services? Did you find time for yourself? Did you get support? What worked in your business? And if you think nothing worked, that's not true. Something worked. So this is about being really honest and being willing to celebrate your wins. So often we sometimes are in this habit where when somebody asks us, how's it going? We find the thing that's not working instead of the thing that is. And this part of the exercise, I want you to do what is working. Take a little bit of time to celebrate. And you can always pause this video. You can come back after you wrote this, totally up to you. What accomplishments are you proud of? What are you proud of? Remember, this could be life and business. And you may find we're going to do two pieces of this. You might find one side of it easier than the other. Let me know that in the comments below. Is wins more difficult for you, or things that didn't work more difficult? And that's totally normal for your brain to automatically think one or the other. It just comes to you naturally. What habits, strategies, or actions contributed to that success? Did you do something different? Did you do the same that made it work? What made that work so well for you? What lesson did you learn from these wins? So if you sit down and you reflect and you look at all of your different wins and you go, what is the lesson or takeaway from that? Who was I being that made that happen? And then we're going to get into what didn't work. Now let's look at what didn't go as you planned. Challenges provide lessons too. And if you only think you want to look at one and not the other, it's the yin and yang of life. You want to be both. You want to be balanced. You want to be harmonious. Be willing to just do this with me. And you might be surprised at what you get in the end. Have you ever heard the saying, if you don't listen when it's smaller, it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger? That is what happens here. So we want to slow down and say, what in your business didn't work this year? All of us have something. Maybe it's somebody you hired. Maybe it's a product or service. Maybe you made a pivot. What didn't work well? Did you overwork? Did you hope to get help? but you didn't. Like, what happened? And all this is a reflection. It's not a time to beat yourself up. It's just a brain dump. Just write it down on the paper. Were there goals or expectations that weren't met? Did you have a revenue goal? Did you have a service goal? Did you have a goal for your health that you didn't meet? Write down, why did that not happen? What caused that you didn't meet your goal or expectation? What lessons can you take from this experience or these experiences if you have multiple? What lesson? Because if you don't bring the lesson with you, guess what? You might try to get it again. Because if you didn't learn it yet, it's going to keep happening. We don't want that, so we want to learn our lessons. That's the whole point of this. Did you ignore any instincts or red flags when making the decision or before making the decision? Did something in you say, don't do the thing, but you did it anyway? Did someone say it to you? Whether it was a hire, a pivot, whatever it is. The reason I'm having you ask yourself this question is because if you can figure out why did you make the decision even when you thought you shouldn't, then the next time you get that instinct or red flag, maybe you'll listen to it, right? And so once we do that, once we look at where do we meet, what wins did we have, maybe what didn't work, now we can take that with us into the next 12 months. So now that you've reflected on your past, the wins or the losses, so to speak, now it's time to think about where do you want to go next. Are you ready? This is where you want to let your goals be rooted in your purpose, not pressure. And what does that mean? This is about there's always room to grow. There's always expansion. And as entrepreneurs, if you are an entrepreneur, I think we're driven to just want to expand. But sometimes you can slow down and say, is that also my purpose? Is that also what I'm meant to be doing in the world? Okay? And trust that small intentional steps will lead to bigger change. Meaning, if you see, what did I do that worked? What did I do that didn't work? And you start taking steps to do more of what worked, less of what didn't. But using those lessons to guide you, you might find that you have bigger change than if you pivot completely and try something totally different. If you bring what worked and learn from what didn't, you'll make more progress. So, one of the things you can do is ask yourself, what would you keep? By identifying what is working well, what you should continue into the next 12 months. So when you think, what do you want to keep? It could be strategies. It could be routines. It could be habits that you've built that have helped you succeed. Strategies could be your business strategy. Help could be, habits of help could be getting someone else to do it for you. And your routines could be like, I leave the office at a certain time, or I only work this many hours, whatever it is. Or maybe you didn't work as much as you wanted to. You found other things that you were doing. What processes would you want to repeat or refine? So repeat is, it worked and we don't need to change anything. Refine is, it worked, but I want to make this tiny little pivot because I think if we make this little pivot, it will be better. It will work better. Okay? And then I want you to think about what aspects of your business or life, remember this can always be about life too, do you want to build upon? So maybe you had some routines where you're going to the gym once or twice a week and you want to add another day or two. Or you were finding a day to do what I call the CEO day, where you have time to just think about growing your business. Or if you're in a role you work for someone else, what can you build upon for your lifestyle that brings you more time, energy, and focus? For example, meditating for a few minutes every day, or going to bed a little bit earlier, or journaling, or any of the things that you know work for you, going for a walk on your 15-minute break at work. And if you're thinking, I don't get a 15-minute break, that's something I would look at. Something I tell my team, especially in the afternoon, I'm like, you guys need to go for a walk, or you need to do something, you need to get away from your desk. Because we have this belief, I think, often that the more we sit at our desk, the more we're going to get done. That's not really how life works. You need to be able to get up, you need to be able to think, and that's the Pomodoro effect, where you work focus for 30, 40 minutes, and then you take a certain amount of time as a mental break. No human being can just sit 100% and focus all the time. So what are you doing to help create more efficiency, effectiveness in your role? Whatever that is that you're doing. This is what I'm talking about. So taking the time to do self-reflection and mindset. Success isn't just about strategy, it's also about mindset. So take time to reflect on who you are becoming. And if you're thinking, ooh, that's something I really want to do, well, guess what? I have so many more questions and fun in the PDF. I wanted to keep our video shorter, but you can go through and reflect on this. It's a free PDF. You can go to canduskampfer.com/reflect to download it, or you can scan it. I even included in here some really cool things where you can go in, ask yourself, what do you want to create and where do you want to go next? In the end, you come up with a guiding question because most of us never take time to slow down. So I wanted to bring it to you to say, hey, even if it's Q3, Q4, now is the time to do this. And you can always do it again at the beginning of the year or depending on when you're watching this. But this is the thing. If you have a guiding question that you can ask yourself all year long, that helps you refocus, you'll notice it can be a game changer for you. I shared some of mine in the PDF and they shared some of theirs. We shared some of theirs as well. So make sure to check that out. And let me know, what was your biggest aha down below? Leave a comment. How are you going to use this? What did you learn from it? Is it something you want to implement? I would love to know. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up so you will see additional tips and tricks that we send out every single week. And if you're needing any support or help with QuickBooks, feel free to go up above or down below. You can also email us at support@canduskampfer.com. We would love to help you. And this is what I want to leave you with. Be patient with yourself. Taking the time to reflect sometimes can stir some things up, but reflect on them. Use them as fuel to take you to the next level in your business. Have an amazing day. I look forward to seeing you inside of our next tip and trick. Until then, toodaloo.